Hello, this is Ian from Cool Stuff Extreme Network, and today's tutorial will be a very short illustration. Actually, this is what people really do most of the times when they say they are cartooning someone. And cartooning someone has so many different advantages and options. You can actually use maybe one or two softwares to create what you want to create by looking at the person's face, getting a reference, or you can use this Photoshop tutorial I'm about to make right now. And with this particular one, we are just going to illustrate over the original image here. And need I say, this is my friend Sewakofo. I did this work 2 years ago, yeah, I think so. So the final work looks like final works. All the final works are supposed to be here. The final work looks like this without the background. So this is what we are about to create. I'm going to actually make it very brief and snappy because it will be just like the other tutorials I walk through. So we'll start from how I start everything, but then I'm going to use the same layers here to make you understand what I'm saying. In the next tutorial, I'll do something from the scratch. That will not be a human being, but then using the pen tool itself to create wonderful illustrations. So first of all, we bring our reference, or actually our sample layer here, and this is what we are going to do. This is the funny part, or this is the fun part. We are about to draw over this particular image using the pen tool, and the first thing is you have to go onto that layer and reduce the opacity of that layer to make it a little bit transparent. Now on the next layer, or the first layer, this is what's going to happen. I'll do the first part and then I'll use the layers to explain what I'm doing. First of all, you go to your pen tool and you start drawing. Make sure you draw what is beneath first, and what is beneath would be the face. The hair is covering the face, so don't worry yourself about trying to draw it well, because we just need outlines, or we need to get a rough or general overview or look of how the person actually looks like. So here we go. You draw something like this, and I already chose a sample color here. You come here, you choose a color for the face, let's say a lighter color, this color for the foreground, and the background will be black because I want to outline it with black. So this is what we do. So first of all, let's go in and make our lines a little bit, sorry, let's make our lines a little bit smoother. Okay, yeah, I think it's okay for me now. So we go to part here, and then we are about to fill it. So this particular one is fill. When you put it on fill part with foreground color, so we are filling it with this color, brown. So we fill it this way, get me? And then we are about to fill the outline, or we're about to stroke the outline. So we change the color. Pressing X will actually alternate between the foreground and the background color, or you can use this switch thing to switch it. And then when you click the second one at the stroke part, it gives you this. This is not how I typically work. If you watch my illustration, you realize the thickness of the lines are not actually the same. It starts from a very thin line, and through the middle very thick, and then thin again. So I undo it. You go here. You have already chosen the brush you want to use. That's the thickness you are about to use. This is the thickness I want for now. So you right click on the path layer. You go to stroke path, and when you come to brush, we are using the brush now. Simulate pressure. It means you're actually going to draw like how human beings really draw. Because when you are drawing a straight line, considering your wrist being stable at a particular point, when you start from the top to the down, the top is very thin, middle is thicker because it's getting closer to you, and when it moves past you, it gets thinner again. So simulate pressure. Okay, this is what you get. This is what you get. So you see, these parts are very thin because that's where I started from. Here it gets thicker, and here gets thicker and thinner, thinner, thinner until you get nothing. So this is exactly what we are talking about. Then you go to layers again. So in the layers, what you do now is you reduce the opacity this way, and we are get the next thing we are about to get is is one of these. You can start with the nose, the mouth, the eyes, or the eyebrow. Mind you, the thing that comes on top is the hair, because you know the hair is covering most part of the face. You should also remember some things are behind the head, some things are in front of the head. So that's what we do. I'm about to draw these parts of the hair, which is beneath the head or the face. So we come to a layer underneath it, and we use our pen tool again. Press P to bring the pen tool out, and you start drawing the same thing over again. You can draw it anyhow concerning sorry, you can draw it anyhow based on how you want it to look like. So let's say we draw the first part of this. We draw the first part of it. We go to parts, and then we fill it, because you know hair is just black, just like that. Yeah, it looks very odd and awkward now, but this is what we are getting. When you come here and you increase it, this is what we are getting. You see, that's the back part of whatever we are having. So from this point, I think you're getting along with the whole thing. So I'll go into the layers I've already created, and we talk about one or two things there. One of the layers, initially one of the layers is the mouth layer. I created the mouth layer here, so I'll bring it on top. There's a hierarchy here, right? The face is just there as a base layer. If it has beneath it, you bring it beneath the face layer. Then on top of the face will be the mouth, the nose, the whatever on top of whatever. Mind you, if you're drawing the eye, you can draw the white part, right? You can draw the big part of the eye. Then you go into the pupil, then you draw the iris on different layers in that order. So everything comes on top of everything. So this is the mouth layer. Unfortunately I didn't name it, but this is the mouth layer. So this is where it's supposed to be. You see, cool, cool. There we go. We are going somewhere. Originally this was the face, so I'll bring the face here on top of my new face. This was what I was having at first, right? And then let's go ahead and try and find the other layers. I'm removing the original layer, but then every time you use the original layer to know what you're doing. But this is what I actually created when I was doing this work. This is just a work, fast workflow. I'll do a tutorial on how to really illustrate a human being or any other object here. So this is what I have. Now the question I get mostly is, hey Ian, how come you are having all those depth and everything, even though it's a 2D work you're doing? Yeah, this is a 2D work. Yeah, it's not 3D. Whatever you do, it's not 3D. Even if I add depth, it's not 3D. But then this is the part that marvels even me. First of all, you draw everything flat. This one is not really flat because I've added one or two things. Draw everything flat. The next layer, you try and color the layer and you bring shades and all that. And if you want to do that, this is the trick. I'll actually paint on this particular layer. This is the trick. You go to the layer, you can press O, or you go to burn and dodge, which is here. I want to burn it first. Burn means you are darkening some place, or let's say you have sunburns, especially on white skin. So let's say I want to make beneath the neck dark because I want to show a level of shadow or something there. You pick this thing, exposure can be a little bit reduced to 32 something, and you start painting over. And you should also realize, as of now, I'm not, let's go to shadows. As of now, I'm not using a tablet. I'm using my touchpad or my mouse, whichever one you're using. You don't need a tablet for this thing. Make here darker, make it darker. You know, you can also decide to increase whatever you're using. Go to highlight, you know, make it cool. Just make it nice. You brush around it too, until you get exactly what you are looking for. The tone, whatever. This is what I use to add a little bit of depth to 2D things which are really flat. Because mind you, are illustrating with I don't know, just a pen tool. So when you're done with your very flat thing, you go in and do all this. Yeah, just like that. So this is a brief one. The actual tutorial is coming up 2 days from now. So have a nice time. I'll see you later. Bye bye.